PM Modi urges Swadeshi push amid Trump's 25% tariff on Indian goods. India's economic strategy. Imagine a world where the global economy is on shaky ground and countries are scrambling to protect their own interests. This is the harsh reality we're facing today, and it's a wake-up call for India to focus on its own economic priorities. But here's the thing. India is on the cusp of becoming the world's third-largest economy, and it's more crucial than ever to promote indigenous goods and services. Prime Minister Narendra Modi recently emphasized the importance of Swadeshi goods, urging traders and shopkeepers to sell only made-in-India products. This call to action comes at a time when the U.S. has imposed a 25% tariff on Indian goods, with President Donald Trump labeling India's economy as dead. But is this a fair assessment? And this is the part most people miss. The U.S. is using this tariff as a pressure tactic to get India to agree to its demands, including extending duty concessions on agri-products, dairy, and GM foods. The Indian government has toughened its stance on these issues, and it's sparking a heated debate about the country's trade policies. As PM Modi said, the feeling of Swadeshi in every action will define our future. This will also be a true tribute to Mahatma Gandhi. But what does this mean for the average consumer? It means being conscious of the products we buy and asking ourselves, has an Indian toiled to make this? If it has been made by the sweat of our people, with their skills, that product is Swadeshi for us. We must adopt the mantra of vocal for local. The government is also working tirelessly to support farmers through farmer-centric policies, and it's essential to recognize the significance of these efforts. As Commerce Minister Piyush Goyal pointed out, India is the world's fastest-growing major economy, and it's expected to become the third-largest economy in a few years. But here's where it gets controversial. Should India prioritize its own economic interests over global trade agreements? Is the U.S. tariff a justified move, or is it an unfair tactic to bully India into submission? These are questions that spark intense debate, and we want to hear from you. Do you think India should focus on promoting Swadeshi goods, or should it prioritize global trade agreements? Share your thoughts in the comments below. As we navigate these complex issues, one thing is clear. The future of India's economy depends on our collective efforts to promote indigenous goods and services. So let's make a pledge to support local products and contribute to the country's growth. The time to act is now, and the stakes have never been higher. Fact-checking Trump. Is the Indian economy really dead? In a shocking statement, former U.S. President Donald Trump declared the Indian economy dead and announced a hefty 25% tariff on Indian imports. This bold claim has ignited a fierce political debate. To investigate the validity of this assertion, we posed a simple yet provocative question to 5 prominent American AI platforms: ChatGPT, Grok, Gemini, Meta AI, and Copilot. The query was straightforward. Is the Indian economy dead? The responses from these AI systems were unanimous in contradicting Trump's claim. ChatGPT asserted that India's economy is far from dead and described it as dynamic and ambitious. Grok concurred, stating that the Indian economy remains one of the fastest-growing major economies worldwide. Gemini characterized the Indian economy as exhibiting strong growth, while Meta AI echoed Grok's sentiment. Copilot provided the most direct response, declaring, "Not even close." In fact, it's quite the opposite. This controversy arises as Trump intensifies his criticism of India, particularly targeting New Delhi's trade relationship with Moscow. The former president announced the tariff hike on Indian goods and an unspecified penalty related to India's purchase of Russian crude oil and defense equipment. In a post on Truth Social, Trump expressed his indifference towards India's dealings with Russia, stating, "I don't care what India does with Russia. They can take their dead economies down together for all I care. We have done very little business with India. Their tariffs are too high, among the highest in the world." Union Minister Piyush Goyal refuted Trump's claim, asserting that India is the world's fastest-growing major economy and is expected to become the third largest economy within a few years. However, Trump's remark found support from Congress leader Rahul Gandhi, who used the opportunity to criticize India's economic direction under Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Gandhi stated, "He, Trump, is right. Everybody knows this except the Prime Minister and the Finance Minister. The Indian economy is a dead economy." Gandhi's comments drew swift condemnation from BJP leaders, with party spokesperson Jaivir Shergill countering. Rahul Gandhi says India is a dead economy. Rahul Gandhi seems to be confusing Indian economy with Pakistan's. Economy is alive kicking. Rahul Gandhi's logic is dead. India. Fourth largest economy. Second largest mobile phone manufacturer. Third largest automobile manufacturer. Fourth strongest stock market. Pehle tolo, phir bolo. Trump's decision to impose a 25% tariff on Indian imports, along with a penalty linked to Russian oil and defense trade, comes amid heightened trade tensions. The former president described Indian trade policy as most strenuous and obnoxious, stating, "All things not good." India will therefore be paying a tariff of 25%, plus a penalty for the above, starting on August 1st. India's crude oil imports from Russia have surged significantly since the beginning of the Ukraine war. Prior to the conflict, Russian crude accounted for a mere 0.2% of India's oil purchases. However, that figure has since skyrocketed to between 35 and 40%, making Russia India's top oil supplier. What are your thoughts on Trump's claim and the AI platform's responses? Do you believe the Indian economy is thriving or struggling? Share your opinions in the comments below, and let's engage in a healthy discussion about this controversial topic. Shashi Tharoor on Rahul Gandhi's dead economy remark, analyzing India-US trade relations. In a striking turn of events, Congress MP Shashi Tharoor has chosen to remain silent on Rahul Gandhi's recent endorsement of U.S. President Donald Trump's controversial statement labeling the Indian economy as dead. Tharoor acknowledged that Gandhi, who serves as the leader of the opposition in the Lok Sabha, might have his own motivations for making such a claim. However, he emphasized the critical importance of sustaining economic relations with the United States for India's prosperity. When questioned about Gandhi's remarks, Tharoor stated, "I prefer not to comment on the statements made by my party leader. He has his reasons for expressing those views. My primary concern is the significance of our strategic partnership and economic ties with the U.S. Currently, we are exporting approximately $90 billion worth of goods to America, and it is crucial that we do not jeopardize this relationship or allow it to decline significantly." Tharoor further remarked, "We should empower our negotiators to secure a fair agreement for India. Additionally, it is essential to explore other markets for our exports, which could help offset any potential losses we might face in the U.S. Supporting our negotiators is imperative." This response from Tharoor came in the wake of Rahul Gandhi's agreement with Trump's assessment of the Indian economy. Gandhi had boldly stated, "Yes, he is correct. Everyone is aware of this except for the Prime Minister and the Finance Minister. The reality is that the Indian economy is indeed a dead economy. I appreciate President Trump for stating this fact. The entire world recognizes that the Indian economy is lifeless, and the BJP has ruined it to benefit Adani." Trump's remarks were made on his social media platform, Truth Social, where he announced a 25% tariff on Indian goods and cautioned about further penalties in response to India's oil imports from Russia. This situation raises significant questions about the current state of the Indian economy and the implications of international trade relations. What are your thoughts on the matter? Do you agree with Tharoor's emphasis on maintaining ties with the U.S., or do you side with Gandhi's critical view of the economy? Let's discuss.